Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. Welcome to a special episode of the SE Live Sessions. I am very, very excited to have our guest, Greg Zlap, here with us today. Greg is an incredible harmonica player who lives near Paris, and he is well known all over the world for his skills. And I am very excited to talk to him today about his career as a harmonica player and how he got there, as well as his love for the HB52. So I'm gonna go ahead and unmute myself here so Greg can hear me, and go ahead and welcome you into the stream. So welcome, Greg. How are you today? Happy Thursday.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's such an honor to have you on the stream. You're an absolutely incredible musician, and I'm very, very excited to kind of hear about how you've gotten to where you are today and why you have fallen in love with this goofy little microphone that we have. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for yeah.
So how are things on your side of the globe?
Well, as a musician, I don't really feel that we are unlocked in a way, because the concerts are still not going on.
Yeah.
And so like I had a tour in May, and it was postponed for autumn. So I did most of the work at home, and I'm finishing recording my album, my CD. But I'm really impatient to be back on stage.
I'm sure. Yeah, I think we're all ready to see all of our friends back on stage. I'm ready to be back at shows and getting to see everyone. I'll have to come catch a show once you're back out on the road. I'd love to see that. That would be a lot of fun.
Oh, yes, you're welcome.
That's amazing. So this is exciting because today we're doing something that we haven't done for our live streams before. One, you're actually going to play some for us, which is incredible. And then two, we're sort of promoting this stream to the SE page and to your page. So that means there's a group of people that already know who you are, and then there's probably a group of people that are less familiar with your work. So, if you wouldn't mind, for the folks that are on the SE side of things that have maybe not heard of you, maybe just, and I'm interested in this as well, give us a little background about how you grew up and became a musician, why you specifically chose to play the harmonica, because that's obviously a bit more of a unique instrument. There's only a handful of people in the world that play it at the level that you do, and so I'd love to get a little bit of history on how you kind of got there and all that. So I'll let you have the floor, and I'll just
Yeah, with
hush.
pleasure. I will just say one word for the folks that are from France that are watching this stream, because they might not understand what we are
Yes, please.
talking.
Thank you.
So don't worry, I'll be back in in English in a moment. Salut à tous. Donc si vous regardez ce live sur ma page Facebook, soyez les bienvenus. Donc c'est une rencontre autour de ce fabuleux micro en air et de l'harmonica qui va se dérouler en anglais. Voilà, donc j'espère que vous allez pas être dérouté par cette langue. Vous pouvez poser vos questions dans les commentaires. Les gens de SE Electronics vont le lire. Et donc, n'hésitez pas à poser des questions si vous voulez en anglais, si vous voulez en français. Et j'y répondrai avec grand plaisir. And now I'm back in English. So.
And thank you. I appreciate that. And welcome to all of those that are watching in France or any other part of the world. This is probably the coolest thing about these streams that we've been doing, is that we have the ability to connect with people all over the world, and it's such a reminder that music is such a, obviously, while we all speak different languages, music does have such a universal language about it. And so thank you to everyone who's participating, and thank you for bearing with us in English today. I'm very excited. This is going to be a great conversation. So anyway, so back to the question was, how did you pick up the harmonica?
It's a completely crazy story, because I have no attributes of a bluesman or a harmonica player.
Yeah.
I was born in Poland. I'm Polish, so I grew up in Warsaw, and it was at the time where it was still a communist country behind the wall of Berlin. So it was a completely different world. And one day, my uncle brought me a harmonica from the States. And for me, as a young boy, I was like 14 years old. For me, the West, what I called the West, what I saw on TV or in the movies, and it was a completely incredible world that I didn't know. And this harmonica that came from the States was like a symbol for me. That, wow, what is this instrument? And I tried to play it. So I opened the box and I did it. And then I stopped, because I thought, well, what's so special about this? And my uncle told me, you must listen to the bluesmen, to American bluesmen who play this instrument, because they can make incredible sounds with this. And so when I found a record, it was Little Walter playing Blues with a Feeling. And when I heard this harmonica, suddenly what I heard was this. So when
Incredible.
I heard this, it is not possible, because I have the same instrument, but when I play it, it doesn't have the same sound.
Right.
And so actually, I was really intrigued, and I thought, no, this guy must be cheating. It's not possible to get the sound with this instrument. And then I started working on it, listening to the records, trying to buy some records on the black market, because they were not available at shops in Poland at the time. So I was collecting everything that was connected to harmonica and
Wow.
to the blues. and it was my secret passion. It became my secret passion. I started learning, and eventually I discovered how to do these notes, and it was a great thing. But it was a long way still for me from being a musician. I never expected that I would become a musician with a harmonica. I mean, it's a joke, you know.
Yeah.
It's a talk. You don't become a musician with a harmonica. And actually, when I was a teenager, I had a blow with the band called Kiss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some of my relatives left me some vinyls with, and I saw Kiss, a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
And I was fascinated by the stage performance of Kiss.
Yeah.
Not only the makeup,
Yeah.
but the huge concerts that they were doing.
Their shows are ridiculous. They're incredible.
And I have tickets for. They're supposed to play in June in Paris. Is their last tour, the end of the road tour, but I think it will be postponed or cancelled because of the virus.
Yeah.
So I'm so. I mean, it's a dream of my life to see them. But well, so actually, my musical passion went to rock and to rock bands. Kiss was one of them. I listened to Metallica and hard rock bands. This was one part of the thing, and harmonica was something completely different. It was, for me, it was like a secret passion.
Yeah.
I would never play the harmonica in front of other people. But the love grew stronger and stronger for me. And at the end of the 80s, I left to Paris with my mother. I took my harmonica with me. And a few years later, I met a great harmonica player, who is called Jean-Jacques Milteau. So harmonica players all over the world know him very well. For those of you who are not into the harmonica world, well, he's a god for us. And
nice.
And so I met him, and he showed me the way. Actually, he showed me that with the harmonica you could become a musician. And he showed me something very important, is that most of the people consider harmonica as being an instrument that participates in music by playing some lick or somewhere there in the background. But few people believe that harmonica could be a front instrument and a leading instrument. And Jean-Jacques Milteau showed me this. And from this moment, I thought, well, this is possible. So I started playing with people and got my first band. I founded a harmonica school in Paris.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, I really love pedagogy because it's in fact, to teach how to play, you teach yourself to, because how to explain things, and so I love this. I love watching people develop their capacities, and so this is how it went. And as there are no many harmonica players on the market, well, I became one of those professional harmonicas that artists call on, and I could do my own career, my own CDs, and participate in recordings for other artists.
That's incredible.
And so I was very lucky to be playing with some great French stars like Charles Aznavour,
Hmm.
that you might know, and or Johnny Hallyday, which is the biggest French star in rock and roll. So it's a completely improbable thing, but thanks to this little instrument, I could become a musician, and I'm so happy to be doing it.
I love it. So did you like as a kid? Was music something that you wanted to do, and you just sort of happened to fall into the harmonica specifically, or did you not? Had you not had any, or did you not have aspirations to be a musician prior to finding the harmonica?
Actually, my if ever I had some aspiration of becoming a musician, it was stopped very quickly because at the moment, so it was in Warsaw. I was like four
Yeah.
years old, years old, and I was enrolled to musical school,
Okay.
played piano to play piano.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there was a like they were auditioning kids from the kindergarten actually, and I was one of them. They played notes on the piano and you had to repeat them. And then my parents received a note. Well, your son will be a piano player. So I
Mm.
started. So I started the lessons, and I was not made for the classical way of learning music. So I was
Yeah.
not.
I understand that for sure.
And so I begged my parents, please, I don't want to play the piano anymore. So after a few years, it was they let me stop, and it was over for me for the. I mean, my musical
Wow.
career was at 7 years old. It was finished.
Wow.
So I was interested in drawing. I like a lot drawing, all sorts of arts. I
Mm-hmm.
love computer games and
Yeah.
designing computer games. This
That's
was my
amazing.
passion, and I would never imagine being a musician. But it was the something special happened with harmonica. Maybe because it's an instrument that there is no one way,
Mm.
one traditional way of learning it. There's
Yeah.
no school in harmonica.
Yeah.
I don't read notes. I never learned how to read notes.
Yeah.
How to read music. So I still don't read music.
Yeah.
And and uh, and well, it's a kind of the a kind of relationship between the
Yeah.
instrument and what I find really great is that the harmonica does not give you everything from the first moment.
It's very true.
I mean, you have to discover how it works. You discover sounds. You discover notes which are not there. When you buy a harmonica, you don't have all the notes accessible. You have only you can play the C scale.
Yeah.
But what about the blue notes? What about all this all
Yeah.
these great. Well, you you
It
have to.
doesn't even sound like it shouldn't be the same. It's incredible.
Yeah, it becomes a different instrument. You have to find them. It's
It's a
like a.
feeling. It's yeah, it's like there's I think instruments in general there's so much feeling involved, but I think that's one of the things I've always loved about the harmonica. Um, I always wanted to learn how to play well. I was a big fan of like Ryan Adams and Wilco and all these folks that is a very prominent instrument that's used in many of their songs, especially in the sort of alternative country world that was kind of born in Nashville and actually some in North Carolina where I am currently. I just
Yeah,
always wanted to learn how to play the harmonica, and I was always blown away at just it is such a feeling. There's this relationship that you have to have with the instrument that is not necessarily that not that it's not required for other instruments, but specific to the harmonica, I feel like there's so much more feeling that is involved than uh because it's while there is technicality to it for sure, there's it's less about technicality and more about feeling, which I think is really interesting.
it's one of the instruments where you cannot see what you are doing. I mean, if you play the
Yeah,
guitar, I can show you where I put my
exactly.
fingers.
Exactly.
You can see how I do bends or things. With harmonica, you don't see anything. You don't even see in which holes you are blowing to.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like, well, Stevie Wonder, for example, he doesn't see what he's doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's beautiful music when he plays harmonica.
Yeah.
So it's something really interior. And the other thing is that the harmonica is the only instrument that is played breathing,
Yeah.
because you breathe in and you breathe out, and you
Yep.
have different sounds. That when you play the harmonica, you are breathing. So it's really intimate and
Yeah.
something really interior. And I love this.
I love it. I love that. It something you said earlier that I think is interesting is, a lot of people don't see the harmonica as an instrument that can be sort of featured, or can basically be the star of a song. I think that there's certain people who would have thought that, or maybe still think that. But you think about I could probably tell you every moment in songs that I love where the most prominent thing is uh is the harmonica. Like I think about like U2's Desire, like that harmonica is the thing that makes
Yeah.
that song. You know what I mean? So it's just I those moments are very stand out to me, which I think is great. Yeah. Oh, I love it. So this is amazing. So before we keep going, I wanted to mention to the folks that are watching that we are going to be giving away a couple of the microphones that we're talking about today, which is the
Oh,
HB52. Yeah. So the HB52 was a project that SE started in conjunction with Hohner, which is the type of harmonica I believe you play. Is that correct? Is a Hohner harmonica?
Honor is the historic brand of harmonica. I mean,
Yeah.
this is all the history of harmonica is Honor.
So we were lucky enough to get to partner with Hohner to design this microphone, and so I believe at this point we've had quite a few viewers already, which is incredible. So we will be giving away more than one. I can tell you that for sure. So make sure if you
What?
are in chat that you have liked the stream, that you've shared the stream, and then if you are commenting and participating as well, we would love that. So yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the microphone then, because obviously um, it's not an easy thing to amplify a harmonica. There's sort of been the one or two microphones that have been standard for a long time. Um, and if SE is good at anything, I would say that they are particularly good at picking like a type of microphone, whether it's like the Shure 57, and that everyone loves that dynamic microphone, and then or the Beta 58 or whatever, and then coming out with something like the V7, which has been such an improvement on some of those things before.
Mhm.
I think what we talked about when we sort of got ready for this stream, this isn't going to be a technical conversation about why this microphone is great. I think
No,
what I want to hear from you is, what sort of made you switch to this? What was different about it? How did it make you feel compared to what you were using previously? Yeah. So
uh, well, first of all, it's I mean, it's just a general philosophy. What I realized is that I hate gear. No, I'm joking. It's what I want is to spend my time on playing music and performing.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend my life twitching buttons and wondering about frequencies and how they are made. So I'm not interested at all in this. So I don't know what are the characteristics of mics or amps or something, and I stick to something more and more simple. The simplicity of the gear is the most important thing. For example, I don't play on amps because a lot of harmonica players, they use amplifiers to get great sound. I don't do it because every time I change the room, every time I play on a different amp, I have to readjust. I should be interested in how to. Do I need more mediums or more overdrive or whatever?
Yeah.
So I don't do it. I want a gear that I plug myself in and it works. So this is the most important thing. When I do a sound check, I want my gear to work, and I want to forget that I have the gear. The gear must serve me. I'm not for the gear for adjustments and stuff. So this is the general philosophy, and what I've learned is one of the biggest lessons of my life is when I played with Johnny Halliday. It gave me the opportunity to play on huge stages and stadiums, and before I did not have this experience. And what I've learned is that the only thing that counts is when you put one foot on the stage, you must give everything. Be more than 100% into the show and into the performance. And actually, this is the same thing whether you play in a stadium or in a small club.
Yeah.
The involvement is the same. I mean, I'm there to play for the public, and I must be able to express myself.
I love it.
So if the gear I use must serve me, and I have to forget that I have it. And it's I will play you one thing. One day, Johnny told me, okay, there is this famous song which is called Gabrielle, and he gave me a solo, harmonica solo in this song, and he told me, do whatever you want, but what I want you to do is to arouse the stadium with your harmonica. Okay. Oh yeah, so easy. And I figured out the solo. I thought, what? I mean, already it's quite ridiculous to see a harmonica player in a rock and roll band. I mean, a lot of people don't imagine this sound and this instrument in a rock and roll band. And I say, what would be the most surprising thing? And I proposed to. I said, okay, for the solo, let the band stop, and I will be alone, just with my harmonica. And that's what we did. And so it's quite basic solo for the harmonica, but it needs a lot of energy. So I will play on this. You tell me if you hear me well.
Okay. Bravo. Man, I don't even have words. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's so cool. Thank you so much. That was such a treat.
It's so yeah. I wanted to play this because it's like a bullet of energy, and I will be able now to explain you why is the gear crucial for these kind of things.
Yeah.
Well, what about this mic? I mean, when I play on stage, I use three different microphones.
Okay.
I use one for singing.
Yeah.
And when I need to play the acoustic harmonica, because when I play the acoustic way, I need my hands.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I don't want anything to interfere with this. Then I have a second mic, which is a how do you call it? Without the
like a wireless mic.
Yes, you say.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
A mic that does not have the wire.
Yeah. So it's a wireless mic. Yeah.
Exactly, wireless mic, which I use to when I want to go, for example, into the public, or when I want to move a lot on stage, and if there's some big distances sometimes on stage, sure. I will need this mic. I don't care about what what is the mic and what I mean. It's a clear sound, but I need a wireless to be moving for some songs. And the third one is where I get my harmonica sound. It's this. So as I told you, I don't use amps, so I go through a DI.
Okay.
And I use just a few pedals. So I put this mic into my pedal board, which maybe you can see.
Oh yeah, perfect.
It's really simple. I mean, actually, I'm using an overdrive.
Okay.
Very slight, and a delay. That's it. That's it. Here I have an octave, but it's for fun. I rarely use it. And this is a looper.
Gotcha.
Basically, but basically what I use it's a little overdrive and a delay, and I do everything with this sound. So first of all, when I'm performing on stage, with my mic, actually a harmonica player will keep his mic in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I how to hold a microphone. You hold it like this with your two fingers, and then you put your harmonica here. So you see you have a slight distance between the mic and the harmonica.
Yeah.
And then you can put the other hand here. But when I'm playing, I'm moving. So actually you are holding the microphone and the harmonica in the same hand. So it's really crucial that the shape of the microphone is adapted to your hand.
Yeah.
If it's too, I mean, it's bulky and it's really not easy to hold it. If it's too small, it's the same. It's not nice. And this one, I suppose it's the experience of Horner with the knowledge of SE that I mean the shape is really it's really perfect because I can very easily hold it in my hand. So this is something really important, because I don't want to think when I'm playing. I don't want to think that I have a mic in my hand. I want it to be natural. So it's a part of me, a part of my body. Once I hold it, I'm just playing, and this is very important. Then the other thing, a very, very, very important thing for a harmonica player, is to have the volume control.
Yeah.
Oh, so why? Why is it so important? For me, first of all, I want to be independent. I want to do what I feel like on stage. And what happens when you are playing in different venues with different sound engineers that take care of your sound? Look, a lot of people are not used. A lot of sound engineers are not used to the harmonica sound.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you see in every band. And on top of that, you have this idea that the harmonica is not a lead instrument. So what I found in a lot of cases is that the sound engineer would like to control my volume when I'm playing. I mean, when I play in a song with a singer, I know how to place myself,
right?
Not to disturb the singer, but I want my phrasing to be heard by the audience. And if the sound engineer is not accustomed to the harmonica sound, he might say, okay, it's not a solo, so I put him down. And oh, it's a solo. Okay, now he's playing the solo. Okay, so I put him up a little bit. And usually, what they would say is that, oh, but you have your mic on in your hand, so I must catch you. Put the volume down, because if not, you will do this. You know?
Yeah.
How do you call it? It's called
feedback.
Feedback, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on stage with a loud band. If you have your mic in your hand and you're moving, I'll get feedbacks. So I must cut you off. And when you are playing a solo, I will put you in. So this, I hate it, of course. and so this, I say, no problem. I have the volume control. So when I'm not playing, I cut it off. You see? So I can be on stage. When I want my mic on, I put the volume and I can play. If I'm not playing, I cut the volume off and there's no feedback, no problem.
Yeah.
So this, I have an absolute control on what I'm doing. And the other thing is that it must be really comfortable. What I love about this button, this volume control, is that when you turn it, there is a little resistance. You know, it is the proof of quality, because you can be really precise. If you have a button that after a few concerts turns like this,
it's not going to be helpful.
Yeah, you touch it with your finger and then it goes up or down.
Yeah,
it's impossible. This one it's so nice. I mean, the feeling is so great. And I have all. I mean, it's so precise. You see, I have. If it's off, it's off. If it's on a little. I can go from low to high volume without any problem. And what is nice is if you are working with an overdrive or with an amp, which I'm not doing, but Well, then by opening the volume control, you attack the amp or the overdrive pedal more,
Yep.
and then you can get more overdrive sound. So this is very useful, because if you want to play with a cleaner sound, you just don't put your volume to the end, and if you push it, well, you get a nice overdrive. So this is a crucial part of a harmonica microphone.
Yeah.
Without it, we cannot play. If you don't have this button, it's unless you hold your harmonica like this all the time, you will get feedbacks.
Yep, for
on
sure.
stage.
Yep.
So this is very important.
It just gives you the control you need. You know, it becomes a part of. Yeah, again, it's that aspect of not having the gear work for you instead of against you, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know how you did it. What? And I don't care. What I want is something that feels really nice.
Yeah.
And as I told you, this is so great, because you can hold it really nice in your hand, and you have the volume control, which turns really really nicely. And the other thing is the sound. The same thing. I don't know why and how you did it. I don't care, again. but it's a sound. The sound of this mic is really adapted to the harmonica.
Yeah.
For example, the harmonica players don't need a lot of low frequencies.
Yeah.
Because it's, well, even if I take a low harp, I mean the lowest one in a traditional, sorry, I have to show you because maybe some people don't know harmonica.
There's so many.
So this is my harmonica box, and actually you have for every note you have one harmonica. So you have 12 notes. So you have 12 keys, 12 keys in the music. So you have 12 harmonicas. For each key, you have one harmonica. And I have two different kinds. Marine bands, this is a traditional blues harmonica.
Okay.
So for me, it's the best blues harmonica you can get. It's really for playing chords, and it supports a lot of pressure when you are playing, because it has open. Here you have little holes on the sides, and so you can play really loud, and the chords sound great. And there's this other harmonica which I like a lot. It's Horner too. It's called Golden Melody, and in fact, it's so you see this one is really closed. You don't have
wow. Yep. Okay.
In the sides, and actually it's tuned. It's for melodies. I mean, you're more in tune when you are playing melodies on this. On a marine band, the melodies are more out of tune, but the chords sound great. And on this one, the melodies will be in tune, and the chords will sound. I mean, you will have some vibrations, so it will be less impressive.
That's so interesting. I knew that there were different styles of microphones, but it's really interesting to hear kind of what the differences are.
So,
and I saw this question pop up in the chat, but you don't use any type of EQ on your harmonica, correct? It's just the microphone into those two pedals.
No. I don't. I mean, I could. I have a pedal for IQ, but I don't use it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I try. I like to experiment with different pedals, but I find that, I mean, most of the sound you do it with your mouth, and
Exactly.
and so it's not. I'm sorry. So as I said, the frequencies do not go really low, so you don't need to have a lot of low sound in your harmonica mic.
Yep.
It doesn't serve. And when I compared this mic with some other mics, you have a perfect response to the harmonica. I mean, it sounds out of the box. It sounds, if I don't put any pedals, I have this. I mean, the sound is already like what I could expect of a mic looking like this. Because when you look at this kind of mic, it's a modern technology, but this shape of the mic brings you back to the harmonica microphones that are traditionally used by harmonica players.
Yeah.
Which have this kind of shape, like a bicycle, how do you call it? Light, you know?
Yeah, like a light. Yeah.
And, but when I see a mic like this without touching it, when I'm expecting this to give me a harmonica sound that I like.
Yeah.
And look, I don't put any overdrive, nothing, and it has already. It has this warm and precise sound that I don't know how to tell it, but this is what I expect.
Yeah. So
when I'm
what? So this is a question that I've seen pop up a couple of times already, and I think it's worth answering, because you mentioned that you tried a lot of other microphones, and I would imagine before you found this microphone, you were probably using I believe it's the Green Bullet, the Shure makes or something. What? And again, like we're not bashing other companies. We're friends with everybody makes microphones for certain applications. So I'll give that disclaimer. But I do think people are interested in hearing, why did you decide to choose this mic over some of the other mics? Because again, there's lots of options out there. What was it about this one that sort of drew you to it over something else? Why should somebody get this one over the other ones, I think is what people are wondering.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried a lot of different mics, and a lot of them I really like. What I'm looking for when I want something that is not constraining me in a way. There are some mics which are too much colored. I don't know. They gave us too much narrow for me. I mean,
Sure.
they are great for a certain style or a certain type of sound. And I know that the people who play with harmonica players who play with amps who know how to do it. I don't know how to manage the thing. I mean, they will tell you that for each amp you have this precise microphone with this precise cell, and then it blows away everything. Well, I'm not looking for this. I want something that adapts to any situation.
Yep.
I want something that if I don't want to play if I don't want to play with overdrive, for example, if I don't want to play crunchy, I still want to use my mic with a clear sound.
Yeah.
And if I want to play crunchy, I will use the same mic.
Yeah.
So the difference with this is in terms of sound, which are I cannot really tell you precisely what is it, but it's this kind of feeling that it responds to my harmonica in the right way.
Yeah.
I don't have problems. Whereas you said about frequencies. How do you call this?
Like the EQ and things like that.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, I don't want an EQ. I don't want to turn the buttons, as I told you. So I want to plug my mic, and I want to get my sound. So this is what happened. I plugged it, and it works, and
Yeah.
that's all I care about.
That's and that it's funny because I think again for people who have been watching the streams that we've been doing so far, and for me as somebody who's a musician and engineer as well, uh, like I am while I do enjoy, like I'm a guitar player, so I love fiddling with
Yeah,
buttons and knobs and things like that. However, at the end of the day, I need the microphone to be an accurate representation of my sound, whether that's me pushing lots of buttons or me pushing no buttons. And I think SE does an incredible job with their microphones of being very true and transparent to whatever the source is. Where, like in your case, not wanting to have anything else unless you're adding like distortion or delay or anything. But like at basic level, when you play that, when you have your microphone and you're playing it through the HB52, it is the sound that you're wanting out of it, and without fighting it. And I think that that's really cool. It's really great to hear that you've had that experience with it, because I think that is true across the
yeah,
board.
yeah. I'm really not a technician. The same
Yeah,
in the studio. I don't know how the sound engineers do with all this stuff, and I'm not interested in it, really. So for me, it must be my partner for the
mm,
show, for the performance,
yeah.
and
It's an
as I told you,
extension of what you're doing, essentially.
exactly when I'm playing the harmonica. The harmonica is a part of my body.
Hmm.
I don't feel that I'm holding something, in my hand. And it's the same thing with the mic. So this is what I said before. Uh, the the great thing about this mic is that it fits so well in your hand that you don't feel it,
Yeah,
and it's I move my hand. I hold it just with two fingers. This is so important. So this is you must have consulted some harmonica players, because otherwise you would not get. I'm sure you work with some harmonica players, because it's the perfect size
yeah,
for the mic.
yeah.
And as I thought, the other thing which is crucial for harmonica players is this button, and it's so nice. This the volume control. It's I've never experimented another microphone with such a good quality of volume control.
That's great.
So
Yeah.
so
Thank you. Yeah, I
this,
feel like that's a great. Hopefully that answers the question. It's very easy when another company is talking about their product and why they think is so much better. It's like, "Oh, we're just the best, blah 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 blah." But, I think the feedback that we get from musicians like yourself, Greg, and other musicians is just these microphones do exactly what they're supposed to do without you having to fight with them. And that's such a key component to doing your craft well, is to not have to worry about all of the things that can go wrong with gear. And some of the older specifically, I would say some of the older harmonica microphones that sound really really great, they're not microphones that you would necessarily want to bring out on the road, because they may or may not be able to take the beating of being out on the road all the time, or
yeah,
and things like that. So it's like, I'm sure that there are other vintage harmonica microphones that sound amazing, but I think what SE has done a great job with this one, on top of everything that you said, is they've combined that vintage sound that people are looking for from a harmonica microphone, that warmth, and that clarity, but they've put it in a form factor that is very usable, and is also very tough. Like, I think when we did this video with Mickey Raphael, he was like, you could literally hammer a nail with that microphone and it wouldn't break.
Yeah.
And so
We didn't talk about this, but it's yeah. The thing is that it's really powerful. I can see it. It has a lot of power, and when you plug it, you blow things away. So
I love it.
Yeah. No. It's true. Another thing, it's interesting because what I like about this mic is as I told you, it's the versatility.
Yep.
Because I don't want to stick to just one particular sound. I want to be free to have a variety of possibilities, which is true on this. But still, I want character, personality from the mic, and it's nice because when you sing through it, without any overdrive, you already have this vintage sound. Yeah. You have you get what you expect of this kind of mic when you look at it, and if you sing through it, you have this vintage vocal sound.
Exactly.
Which some harmonica players use also mics to sing, not only to play harmonica. So I find it really great. And if you are a singer, if you don't play any other instrument, and if you want just a distorted or overdrive sound for your vocals, the same, you can fix it on next to your vocal mic, and you can do the gig with the button with the volume control turned off. And if you want your special voice,
that's great.
Yeah, you can use this mic as well for this. So it's really good. I will play something for you.
Please do. And then we can announce some winners, which will be great.
I'll try to do a loop. Got the feeling I'm going down, down, down. I'm lost without you. Hold me up before I drown. No, I'm never gonna feel again like I did before. Take me to the promised land, save my soul. No, I'm never gonna love again like I did before. Show me your love, save my soul. Here you come, and my world is spinning round, round, round. I got the feeling you put my feet back on the ground. Ooh, no, I'm never gonna feel again like I did before. Take me to the promised land, save my soul. No, I'm never gonna love again like I did before. Show me your love, save my soul. Hold me tight, so I can feel your love getting stronger. Can you feel my love? Ooh, I'm never gonna feel again like I did before. Take me to the promised land, save my soul. No, I'm never gonna love again like I did before. Show me your love, save my soul. Yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Man, this has just been such a treat. I'm so thankful for you doing this with us today. This has been so much fun.
I love it.
It's so great, man, and it makes me want to come out to whenever you're touring again and come to a show, because I can imagine the energy live is just absolutely incredible to see in person. So it's incredible to see over Skype. So I can imagine in person it's even more incredible. So that's awesome. So we have quite a few winners to announce, because we've had a lot of people viewing this today, which I'm so thankful for. So thank you to everyone who has been here, from Greg, from your page, from the SE page. And so I think we're going to announce some winners here in just a second. There was something else. I've got a list of questions that I've been collecting from today. And I noticed, and unfortunately, when we went with the cross posting that we're doing, there are some questions that may have shown up on your page that I may or may not be seeing. So if you are watching this video on Greg's page, if your question isn't being read or something, be sure to go over to the SE Electronics page and drop your question in that chat. We're trying to grab questions from both. I know, like, your management is sending me emails while we're videoing to kind of help get some of that stuff going, which is super helpful. So, but we've got a lot of really great questions. So I'm gonna ask a couple of those questions, and then we'll go ahead and announce some winners. So let's see here, which some of them we've answered already. But the first question we had earlier on in the stream was, when in the process of learning did you discover that there were other keys of the harmonica?
Well, when I got my first harmonica, it was in the key of C. And I quite quickly realized that I could not play all the songs with my harmonica. So I started looking for the answer, and I realized that actually you choose the harmonica, the key of the harmonica, to adapt it to the song you are playing.
Yeah.
And that was it. And to say simply, if you are playing like Bob Dylan, it's you would choose the harmonica in the key of the song. So if the song is in C, I would choose the harmonica in C to play it.
Yep.
If the song is in E, I would choose a harmonica in E to play it. And what Bob Dylan does, he blows more than he draws the air. So this is the way of playing it. But if you're listening to blues harmonica or rock harmonica, there's something mysterious. Actually, you don't choose the harmonica in the key of the song. For example, if you're playing blues, if the song is in E, you will pick the harmonica in A to play in E.
Interesting.
If the song is in A, you would pick a harmonica in D, which is called the cross harp style. Actually, you play, because when you play blues, you play basically by drawing the air in more than you blow the air. So these are some mysteries of the harmonica. But you can look through the web, and you'll find all the answers about it.
Yeah. That's really interesting, and I guess it sort of has to do with, not ironically, harmonics and harmonizing and things like that. It is, and how you're following the melody of a song. So
it's simpler as this. In fact, to synthesize it, and on one harmonica, on a C harp, this is so here I have a harmonica, okay? Mm-hmm. On a harmonica, I can play a melody. Okay, I can play a melody, which is cool. But the most incredible thing about the harmonica is that you can play chords. Mm-hmm. Yeah? And actually, you have 3 chords on a harmonica. I have a harmonica in C. When I blow the air, I will play a C major chord. When I draw the air, I will play the G chord. And when I blow the air, when I draw the air in the holes 4, 5, and 6, I will get D minor chord. So I have 3 chords on the harmonica.
Wow.
C major, G major, and D minor. And actually, what's happening is that I will choose one of these chords to play over a song. So if I have a song in C, I can play it with my harmonica in C, because when I blow, I do a C chord, so I can play melodies and I can play with this. If the song is in G and I draw in, well, I'm playing a G chord, so I can obviously play on the song because I have a G chord, so I can play the chord. And if the song is in D minor, I also can play with my harmonica in C because I have a D minor chord. So actually you have 3 positions.
Wow.
First position, you play in C. Second position, you play in G. And third position, you play in D minor. And then you... and on every harmonica is the same thing, but it's shifted. So...
Perfect. I love it. Okay, so we have our first winner, which we actually chose. The first winner we're picking is going to be from your page, which is the people that are participating in the chat on your page. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can pronounce this good. Jerome Delpech, I believe it would be. Jeromedelpes. Say it again.
Jérôme Delpech.
Jérôme Delpech.
Ouais,
thank
bravo,
you.
Jérôme.
Congratulations, Jérôme.
Oui, moi je savais pas qu'ils allaient offrir des micros, mais c'est carrément génial. Bravo, Jérôme.
So congratulations. And then on the SE page, our first winner is Jason. Gosh, this name is even more difficult to pronounce. Oh boy, Jason Lapasinkas, I believe is what it is. Lapasinkas. Jason Lapasinkas. You are our winner on the SE page. Oh, there. He just commented on there. So Jason, I see you just commented on the page. So you are our winner.
Great, Jason! Congratulations!
Congratulations, Jason. And I can't remember, Andy. You'll have to text me if that's the only two we're giving away, or if we're giving away one more. You'll have to let me know. In the meantime, I'll get back to some questions because we still have several very good questions on here. Andy Carroll, who this question came from our page, and again, I apologize if I'm missing some comments. Make sure you come over to the SE page. I'll have a little bit easier time. I'm trying to watch them on both places, not very successfully though. Let's see. Andy says, do you like it when players give the harmonica a real good workout, like Jack Bruce playing Train Time? And I believe that's a Cream song, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that song.
Maybe I really love it. If you heard this Gabriel song, I really like it when it's really energetic. And I think when you are you can learn all the technique you want, because with the harmonica it's such a world of some quite difficult techniques that are developed. That have been developed lately. Even it's incredible. There are overblows, overdraws, and you can play chromatically on a diatonic harmonica. It's really incredible. But what I find is that the most powerful thing about the harmonica, and the unique thing, is the chords, actually, and this is there are two different types of harmonicas. We did not talk about it. There's the chromatic harmonica, which has all the notes. With a thing. I don't know if I have one here. No, I don't play the chromatic, but you have like Toots Thielemans played chromatic. Stevie Wonder plays a lot of chromatic harmonica. The sound that you know from Stevie Wonder, it's chromatic harmonica. You have access to all the notes. On a chromatic. On the diatonic, you don't have all the notes.
Gotcha.
But the powerful thing about the diatonic is the chords, is what I told you before. Actually, if you can do this, that's great. It works. I mean, the harmonica plays. I don't need to do anything. I just breathe through it, and it's so powerful. And so, yes, I do like it when they are doing it with a lot of energy. Yes,
that's great. I love it. Yeah, that's what I saw the question, and then when you did when you kind of did the performance of what the solo was, I was like, oh, I already know the answer to that question. So, let's see. Okay, so we've already talked. There was another question about EQ, which we've already talked about. Another person asked, is it easy to grip, the microphone specifically, is it easy to grip even if your hands get sweaty during a gig? Do you ever have any issues keeping hold of the microphone, or is it pretty easy to hold on to?
No, because if the mic was bigger, you wouldn't have a good grip on it.
Gotcha.
But as I told, this is at least for my hand, because there are people who have bigger hands. But for me, it's the perfect size, because you see, it's really secure. It does not move, even if I have sweaty hands during the gig, and you have this very slight border here.
Yeah.
So when you keep your mic with your fingers, this, even if they are sweaty, this holds the mic really in your hand.
Yeah, and it's hard to see over Skype video, but the mic has some texture to it. It's not super
Yeah,
smooth.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
got
yeah.
some kind of grit to it. So
Yes,
yeah.
you see.
So it does have a little bit of grit on there, which is good. I'm trying to see. I believe that's all the questions I have so far. I was trying to see on your page if there was anything I missed. Hold on, if this gets
In
this make
French.
see, I wanna-
You have the translator, no?
I do have the translator. Yeah. Um, Trying to see if I've missed anything here. Thank you to everyone who's been participating, though. This has been absolutely probably I don't. It's just been really great to have. This is a different type of stream than we've done so far, and it makes me want to do more like this. I think it's been a lot of fun. So if you have any other questions, now would be the time to ask, because I believe we're coming to the end of our conversation for today. I have a question while we're waiting. I was curious if there was who would you say are some of your most influential harmonica players, the people that had the biggest influence on you? I know you mentioned the person that was sort of your mentor a little bit, but are there other players that you would cite as being influential to you as you were kind of coming up and becoming a player yourself?
Yes, of course. Little Walter, uh, for the tone that he gets from his harmonica, and this incredible swing that he brought, and this incredible modernity of his playing. When you see, Little Walter is the guy who did a mega hit, which was an instrumental on harmonica. It's called Juke, and the history says that this hit was so popular and so amazing at this. It was in the 60s, I suppose, and this harmonica sound was so incredible that the prices of harmonicas in the United States were 4 times. I mean, they multiplied them by 4
Wow,
after the song was released.
that's
and
incredible.
so it's like a very, very, it's a great influence for me. And the classical players, Sonny Boy Williamson,
Mm-hmm.
second. Uh, it's incredible the how naturally he plays, and what I love is his voice and his harmonica. When he sings or when he plays the harmonica, you have the same vibration, you have the same sound.
Wow.
It's as if harmonica was his voice, and this is something I really love. There's another one. I mean, there are so many. Sanitary. Sanitary is it's such an inspiration. Is the guy who uses the chords of the harmonica in the best possible way. And he uses his voice too, when he plays the harp, so that you do not distinguish what are the notes that are played on the harmonica, and
Yeah.
what are the notes he's singing. Another big influence for me, I was blown away by John Popper from Blues Traveler band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's also a singer, composer, and of course, incredible way of playing. Very fast, but very how to say, he with a lot of feeling.
Yeah.
And and when I heard him for the first time, I thought it was impossible to play that fast. But he's an example of someone who can be a leader.
Very great example.
Leader of a band. He can sing, he can compose, he can create great music, and still be a harmonica player.
Yeah.
so yeah. Howard Levy, of course, he's the one who pushed the harmonica into the jazz. This is a big source of inspiration too. And I mean, I don't only inspire myself by harmonica players, but
sure, yeah.
Miles Davis is a huge influence for me.
Absolutely.
And well, we could continue like this, but
I love that was going to be my follow-up, yeah, because obviously, like, my follow-up question to that is, so you obviously there's harmonica players that have influenced you, but yeah, who do you feel like? I love that you grew up with such a passion for rock and roll, as well as this other side of the musical spectrum. So that's really cool. So Miles Davis, are there any other like bands that you can think of or musicians that you can think of off the top of your head that you would cite as influential for you?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of jazz. This is so I was really fascinated by jazz and this approach to the music, which is really very interesting and so much different of the rock and roll approach to music. But I find that like we said in the beginning, the music is such a universal language.
Yeah.
That hate putting borders, you know. Say,
yeah,
if you like this, you don't like this, or if you like this, you should not like this. I don't care. And in my experience, a great thing happened to me is that I was I've been playing for more than 10 years now with a great film music composer.
Oh, very nice.
Vladimir Kosma. He composed most of the classical French movies scores. So he's very known. And so when we play on stage with him, there is it's an orchestra, classical orchestra. And he took me as a soloist with my diatonic harmonica. I cannot read music, and playing with people. And it was funny because I talked with the first violinist, and I said, "Well, I'm so impressed because I can see you play any music with such a you master everything, and you can read the music, and I don't understand anything." And the violinist says, "Not only I read, but I read a few bars
ahead."
So in fact, okay, so these guys, they are playing music, but their eyes are in the future.
It's amazing.
So their fingers are playing music, and they are reading ahead. How is it possible? And this violinist told me, but I am so impressed by you because you don't read music, and I don't understand how you do. Because for me, it's impossible to improvise. He said, but I said, but I don't understand this. You have all the technique, you have everything. You just improvise. It is no, I cannot. It's not possible. So and this feeling that you are playing with an orchestra with classical musicians, me with my blues harmonica, and it works together well.
Yeah,
it's a proof that there are no limits actually, and it's only maybe in people's minds that you say, okay, what you cannot play with the harmonica in an orchestra.
Yeah.
You can only play or something. There are no limits. You can do whatever you want.
That's amazing. I love it. All right, so I have a great question that somebody asked that I think will be the perfect kind of way to end our conversation. And this was from George Hadley, and he said, "Do you have any advice for future harmonica players?" So do you have any advice for future harmonica players? I think this is a great one to end on.
Yeah. Hello, George. So yes, I mean, it's very simple. I mean, I think it's best to start with the harmonica in C, because as I showed you, first of all, you have to choose the harmonica, for starting. And the best thing is to start with a C harmonica, because it's the one that it's in the middle of the frequencies. I have the C harp. Sorry. If I take the D harp, so you see they D, E, F, they go up in the sound, and when I go down, but the sound goes down. So this is in the middle, and so it's easier to start on this one if you want to switch later to the other keys of the harmonica. So this is the first thing. And then, I mean, there are so many tutorials on the web. You can really find your way. I think the best way of learning is to copy the things you like, actually. But of course, at the beginning, you need a little bit of technique. But there is nothing like trying to play a melody. You like a melody, you can sing yourself a melody, and you try to find it on your harmonica, because you make mistakes, and when you do mistakes, you learn, always like this. And listen to a lot of different things, and go to the things that you like. I mean, this is the only thing I could say. I don't think you need to. I mean, I'm the example. I don't think you need to learn music, really, because you can feel it. It's enough to listen to the music. You don't need to learn how to read notes, or if you're interested in it, it will come naturally later. Well, and if you want just a 2-minute lesson, I will do. So for all of you who are complete beginners, this is how you start. You have your harmonica. You have the numbers here from 1 to 10. So they have to face upwards. And now you hold your harmonica in your left hand. Why left hand? I can tell you later, but left hand. You are left or right-handed. You hold your harmonica in your left hand, like this. So you see I have the numbers facing upwards, and I hold it with one hand, and the other hand will come here. This is the way of holding the harp. Already, this is the first step. You don't hold your harp like this. You hold your harp like this and like this. And then the second step is that the harmonica is played by breathing. So when you breathe in and you breathe out. Watch your nose. You don't breathe through your nose. This will come later. So watch out. If you want to be powerful with your harmonica, don't use your nose in the beginning. Some people will, when you breathe in, you will breathe air in with your nose also. In this way, you lose power, actually. So don't use your nose, only through your mouth, and you breathe through your harp. and the harp plays music for yourself. You see, it's I don't do anything. I open my mouth, ah, as if I was saying ah 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 ah. The jaw dropped, no pressure, and you just breathe. And then you can do something with the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then already you play your harp. Third step, when you play your harmonica, you play with your mouth. So actually, whatever you do with your tongue, you can hear it in your playing. So when you're articulating things, for da da do 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 ti 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 ti, you can hear it in your playing. So you can talk through your harp, actually, and it will give you rhythmic accents. So if I do. I'm just adding taka taka toko toko taka taka toko toko. So just talking through your harp and breathing, already you play music. Mm. So fourth step, and this becomes a little more difficult, you have to learn how to play one note. So you have to blow into just one single hole. For example, the fourth hole. So for this, one easy method is like this, like a kiss. And without looking, because you cannot see what you are doing, you try to play the fourth hole. This is a C. Then you draw D, then you blow in the fifth hole, and then you can figure out the major scale.
Wow.
So once you have this, you can play all the melodies. So this is how to start. That's it.
I love it. That's so great. Yeah. I know I have a couple of harmonicas somewhere in my house I'm going to have to go find now. That's so funny. Is it, I pronounced their name, is it Elvire? Is that right? The person that works for you, is that correct? They emailed and they said, if DJ doesn't start playing harmonica after this live session, Greg will be very disappointed.
Yes, I will be DJ.
I have some at the. I will have to find mine now. I have a few at the house that my kids have gotten a hold of at some point, but I'll have to find them. So, well, Greg, thank you so much for this today. This has been absolutely incredible. It's just been, even if you and I had just been having this conversation with nobody else, I would just be thrilled. And it's been so great. And so I'm glad that both people on the SE page and on your page were able to spend some time with us today. So thanks to both of you, both of those groups of people. I don't know if you want to sign off in French to your audience as well, but you're welcome to do that. And then we will go ahead and say goodbye for the day.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, everybody. And I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we spent a long time, but it was so much fun. Et pour tous ceux qui parlent français, qui regardent sur ma page, merci beaucoup. J'espère que vous avez compris quand même quelque chose, parce que c'était long. Mais j'étais ravi de passer ce moment avec vous. Et s'il y a des questions qui sont passées à la trappe parce qu'ils ne sont pas arrivés sur la page de SE Electronics, je vais essayer d'y répondre dans les commentaires. Voilà. Donc je vais regarder ça plus tard et je vous répondrai. Voilà. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And I look forward to hopefully getting to make a trip out your direction at some point and hopefully catch a show when all of this quarantine and lockdown is behind us.
Yeah, and I hope I will be able to come to the States
Yes,
one
absolutely.
day from my shows too. That would be a good way of meeting in person
Yes,
too.
absolutely. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you again for your time today. And I look forward to talking to you very soon.
Thank you, DJ.
Okay, thank you,
Bye.
Greg. All right, bye bye. Man, guys, this was just such an incredible thing. I can tell you, it is such an honor for me to be in a position to be able to get to speak with all of these people and then be able to bring you all in on these conversations as well. This was so much fun. I'm very much looking forward to the conversations that we have planned for the future. Next week we will be talking with Alexander Archer, who I believe I mentioned. I don't remember if I'd said it yesterday, but last week he's in charge of sound for he's the engineer for Vivo for some of their live performances that they do in the UK. I'm a big fan of the work that he has done, and I'm very much looking forward to speaking with him. And then the week after that, we'll be speaking with our good friend who is a drummer and a YouTuber, Raina Vandal, and we will get to talk. We're going to kind of dive in specifically to the setup that he has for his YouTube world. So I'm very much looking forward to that as well. Congratulations to our winners today. Thank you again to both Greg's audience and our audience who got to participate in this stream together. And I will see you all next week. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Continue to stay safe, wash your hands, keep your distance as needed, and we will see everyone very soon. Thank you guys so much.